What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy Weekly Homework Podcast. I am your host, Tashira Say. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week 47 of the Weekly Homework Assignment / Podcast. Once again, something that's going to be very, very interesting. First and foremost, shout out to my man Stephen G for that intro. And it's funny because we know Stephen G is like, the guy. But then this is the first intro he's ever submitted to the podcast. Very crazy, right? Anyhow, welcome. Thank you for being with us this week. And let's get to what we're doing. So, last year, we covered several different genres. Classical, world music, trap, electronic, just all kind of crazy things and all kind of crazy assignments. And it occurred to me that there's one style or genre of music that I never covered. And I am a huge fan of it. And that is reggae. Now, before we go any further, I'm not talking about soca, dance hall, reggaeton, reggae dub, rock dub, any of that stuff like that. I'm talking about more traditional reggae that started like in the 50s and 60s in the islands, that kind of stuff, and that's what we are doing today. More dub, more ska, more of roots, all that kind of stuff. So I gave that to the people. I said, hey, do your little research, make some reggae music, but put your signature on it. Be traditional, but put your signature on it. And we actually have, looks like 7 submissions, and I'm very excited to get to them. So, that being said, let's quit talking and get it in. First and foremost with our man who has been coming through since the beginning, double negative. Let's get it in.
Double negative.
Represent double negative doing his thing for week number 46. Really dope. Enjoyed it. But I gotta call him out. That's more of the dance hall, because that boom tap tap boom tap tap. That's more indicative of like dance hall and more a modern type of reggae. But for what he did, I did like it. I did. It just didn't necessarily fit the guidelines of this particular assignment, but I really did like the submission. So shout out for that. But next time, make sure you kind of go back and and listen to the realness, do the research and make sure you follow the instructions directly. But it's all good. Moving on to my man, Ray D. 3000. I'm very interested in hearing this one because of what he said in his email. So let's get to it. Man, Sacramento represent. Ray D 3000. That's what I'm talking about. That got me pumped listening to that. Because you had the little intro, which was cool, but when it actually kicked in, when the percussion came in, oh, that is what I'm talking about. That traditional stuff and more dub and roots type reggae. That's what I'm talking about. Woo, that was incredible. I really love that. Now, I gotta holler at my man Ray D. You gotta step up the mixes, man. And the mix itself was okay. It just did not bump. That's the only thing. It didn't have that hit where you felt the kick and you felt the rim shot and all of the percussion. It just was really, really low. And to be very honest, normally when Ray sends a track in, I have to bump the volume up a little bit because I can just tell looking at the wave that it's a little weak. But man, this really would have benefited from boosting it a little bit, you know, a little compression or limiting on the master and being very careful about it to just make it boom, 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 boom. Woo! But the submission itself, thumbs up, bro. I liked everything about it. I liked the change, the key change, and then actually bringing in the horns. He even had a little Bob Marley acapella, well, you know, vocal in there that I heard just a little bit. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Nice job, Ray D. Very, very nice job. All right, moving over to the UK with our man, Mr. Legacy. Let's get it in. right, Mr. Legacy with his submission for week 46. It was cool. It was cool. Couple of issues. Not necessarily what you may be thinking that I'm going to say as far as like the drum and bass kind of thing. Not necessarily mad at that. That does make it more of that raga dub kind of stuff. But I did say, make it more traditional and put your spin on it. So wasn't necessarily, upset at that. The one thing that I am upset as is I said, all of this is mostly this is majority of it is going to be an organic assignment, meaning that you play all the instruments yourself pretty much. And the sampling, I did say that if for added bonus, if you wanted to sample somebody's reggae vocals or something like that and kind of chop them up, put them in here and there, that was an added bonus. So I'm not necessarily mad at that part of the game or the drum and bass part of it, but definitely I was looking for more of an organic thing where you just played all of the instruments yourself. Now I like the feel, I like where you were going, but I definitely know that piano and that you had in there was more of that was more of a sample. I know that for a fact, and everything else was kind of sampled, especially when you throw the drum and bass elements and blah 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 in there. It was cool. Definitely, I know I can tell that we definitely took him out of his normal workflow and all of that kind of stuff and where he normally lays. But definitely, I was expecting a little bit different, a little bit more from that. But it's cool. It's cool. And I'm pretty sure, he'll go back eventually and do something else similar or something else with this particular track. So thank you for the submission. Moving on to my man Gold 007. This should be a good one. Let's check it out. Man, Bill killed that. Holy wow. I'm just sitting here listening to it. I'm getting lost in it because it sounds very, very authentic. Very, very authentic. Like seriously, I needed to be sitting on the beach. I need to have my locks back. For those who don't know, I used to have like really long locks at one point. But yeah, I need to have my locks, and me and my wife need to be out on the beach in Jamaica or somewhere, and sipping out of a coconut. That is what I'm talking about. Man, that was great. And then here's something else. If you listen careful, you can actually hear that's a real guitar and real bass, and he played that. Shout out for all of that. I loved everything about that. And Bill has once again just been doing his thing, man, and just growing with every submission, as you should. Man, that was dope. Very, very nice job. All right, moving on. We're going back to the UK to our man, Crooked Mystery Jazz. Let's go. Crooked Mystery Jazz doing his thing for week 46. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. My only issue is it was a little more sampling than I wanted. And I'm not talking about the voices. I'm talking about, once again, the piano was definitely sampled. And this was more of a, I hope I'm pointing this in the right direction or naming it correctly, raga dub. It was more of that style, but I did like the other elements that he put in there. Even though it was more raga dub, he did have a lot of organic elements in there. The different synths and the bass line and a couple different change ups. I love the vocal sample he used, especially being from the UK. I'm gonna dance for the Queen of England. And I know there's like a big huge, geez, I did say that. There's like a huge connection between the Caribbean and UK, and they pass a lot of music back and forth somehow, or it's I can't really explain it, but I do know that's a thing. And I really appreciate, once again, the elements of this particular track. But once again, I keep saying once again, but it is more of the what I would say is that raga dub type style. But I did like it. So great job on what you did, my man. Moving on to our man, we just had Crooked Mystery Jazz. Moving on to our man, Necromantis. Let's get it in. North Carolina representative, Necro Mantis. Man, that was dope. I was a little worried in the beginning, but when the beat finally kicked in, I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Man, he did his thing. And once again, I keep saying once again, jeez, definitely feels, pretty organic, pretty genuine, you know what I'm saying? Authentic, I should say. Very, very nice. And hopefully you listened, had that live guitar in there. And, Necro plays guitar for years, but he played in metal and rock bands. And then he can take what he knew from that and implement it into a reggae assignment and kill it. So nice job on that, my man. I enjoyed every moment of that. Whew. All right, moving on to our man, the guy, Stephen G. This should be very interesting. Let's go.
Bumbo, rata, rata, rat, rata, rat, rata, rat, rata, rat, rata, rat, rata, rat, rata, rat. Move dog, move dog, move dog. Life. Yes, yeah. Water for life. Very cool, like a height.
Stephen G. Being very Stephen G. finishing up week 46. I liked it. I did like it. I would say it definitely needed more to it. And I know Stephen's been, working a lot lately and may not get a chance to dedicate as much time as he would normally to the assignments. I did like it. I like the fact that we know what Stephen G does. It's more electronic kind of dance kind of music. And he almost took it there, but he scaled it back. That's what I really appreciated it. Because I said, go more traditional, but give it your signature. That's why I'm not necessarily mad at, at the UK cats. Not at all, because that's normally what they do. But I like what Steven did, where it still feels like it still has that really, really dope, Caribbean feel to it to a certain degree. Maybe that's just me, but I definitely feel like it needed more to it. It's kind of, if I was in Miami Vice 2, the movie, which, I don't think that's a thing. At least I hope not. Even though I did like the remake. Anyhow, let that be something where, I'm on the boat and it's sunset and we're cruising, going to find the guy. That seemed like that more fits that kind of mood. And it's very, it picks up the environment, but it doesn't necessarily drop me into that Caribbean or Caribbean, however it is, feel, but it's close enough. But it definitely, it would have gone there had he added just a little bit more to it. You know how Stephen G does, more variation, more instruments, and I know it's a time thing, but I did enjoy that. I would like to see that finished, definitely. So that is it for our submissions this week. actually enjoyed it, despite the things that I was saying that some may think is negative. I actually did like all of these submissions. I just wanted more from some of them, especially like Stephen G's, but I did enjoy everything. So want to thank Stephen G, Necromantis, Cricket Mystery Jazz, Gold 007, Mr. Legacy, Ray D 3000, Double Negative, and you for watching, listening, sharing the videos, commenting, giving us support every single week. Now, if any of you out there, I'm talking to you and you over there and you over there, if you think this is something you want to be a part of, as in participate in what we do every single week for the Weekly Homework Podcast, come over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It's that simple. I am done for the week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. See ya!